what value do tools like Signavio and Celonis bring to an S4 upgrade project? What should companies know about leveraging them effectively?
Yeah, I mean, the doing data mining is a very analytical way to evaluate how the actual processes are operating within a company. I think companies, when you go in and you start to do a roadmap, you'll start talking about the processes. And traditionally, it's been sitting in a room with a bunch of people that will say, well, this is how we do it. And they map out the processes and you do a process flow. And then those are still very effective. The reality of that, though, is in practice, it probably doesn't operate that way. And that's where a tool like Signavio or Celonis helps you in a very empirical way determine how the processes are being done in the system. And so whereas when someone lays out a process, it might be what you call the happy path process, right? How it actually is supposed to be. And then when you leverage a process mining tool, you'll determine that, well, you actually do that process about 20% of the time, and the other 80% deviate from that process, and here's how it is, and here's, and so you now can determine, and again, in a very empirical way, what you actually are doing in the system. So that will help you, say, well, we need to look at this process. One, it could be just process changes and it's training for people that need to do things differently, or no, the system, the way it's set up is causing you to have to do this in a very different way. And that's what, it allows you to, as you design the new system, determine what are the areas that we should be focusing on to either do process adjustments or system configuration adjustments, so that you can actually do things a little bit more to standard and kind of more of an industry standard practice.
Thank you. So Jeff, is there a way to use tools like Signavio for initial process assessments without an extensive investment, especially for clients unsure of long-term needs?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, again, when you use a tool, a process mining tool, you are selective on what area you might do it in. So you might do, process mining in a supply chain area, or in like order to cash as an example, or even in just, procurement. So you don't necessarily have to do it for all processes. And so that's where these proof of concepts really come into play for companies. Usually, one is valuable to do, again, a process mining tool to understand how the processes are being used in practice. So it's less about what people think it's doing, it's more about, with empirical data, how the actual process is running through the system. And so doing a proof of concept, and usually these last anywhere from 2 months to 4 months, depending on the process area, to really understand kind of what's being done and how the system is being used. That helps inform areas that you want to investigate during, let's say, something like an upgrade, or even just being able to put something like this in place for ongoing operations, so you can understand compliance to a process that's been laid out. So again, they're good for upgrades to inform you on how the system is being used and determine areas you need to invest in for doing more process analysis, as well as for ongoing maintenance